So, having a flick through the back pages, Roberto De Zerbi is there. He has apologised to any Spurs fans who were offended by comments he made about Mason Greenwood when he was his head coach in Marseille. Speaking to club media for the first time since his appointment, he chose to speak in Italian to respond to the opposition from some supporter groups over his appointment. I think overall, I'm just glad that the club have addressed it immediately head on. The fact that there was nothing public from the club until now was a little bit concerning. So the fact that he's apologised, he wanted to reply in Italian at least, means that he does take the matter seriously and didn't want to leave room for error, and has actually said that he didn't mean to take a stance on it. So at least we have actually had an apology from Roberto De Zerbi. But elsewhere, I wanted to get into these World Cup final ticket prices. So supporters groups have condemned FIFA's controversial dynamic pricing system after the world governing bodies raised its top ticket price for the World Cup final to over $10,000. So it's about £8,250. The price for a Category 1 ticket had been $8,680 when FIFA sold tickets after the tournament draw in December, but there has been a 26% increase since then, and it's believed to be the most expensive ticket for a sports event ever sold by an official organiser. I mean, surely this is going to damage the atmosphere. Sam, I know that, you've been to your fair share of World Cup finals. Surely pricing out the proper fans is going to sedate the noise and the passion in the stadiums, maybe?
Listen, World Cup final tickets are always really expensive, hugely expensive. In fact, I remember the first time that I ever went to a World Cup final, I looked at the price of the tickets that were being sold, and it blew my mind that anybody could afford it. At that time, it was in the Maracanã, it was 2014, and it was $999 for the tickets to go, right? And I thought, wow, you just can't afford to do it, and no one can afford to do that. That's so expensive. Fast forward 12 years and you're talking 10 times the price. That is absolutely outrageous. Now, listen, it's a prestigious football event. It's a prestigious sporting event, the biggest in the world, the World Cup final, no doubt. However, that is absolutely extortionate. And I don't know about you, Ray.
How many tickets would there be at that price, though? I mean, you're talking about, I go to Arsenal, Diamond Club tickets, the best tickets you can get. It must be those tickets, surely. It can't be just normal tickets.
Yeah, even the Category 2 tickets for the final were for sale at £5,576.
That's what worries me.
The problem you have, the proper fans, bring their prices down. But most of these 8,000 tickets, they're corporate ones, and the companies will buy them for all their clients and all that sort of stuff.
I'm not sure they are, though, Ray. I mean, yes, the top end might be, but I'm not sure that the mid-band, like Angelina was saying, the Category 2, Category 3 tickets, they are not corporate tickets, but they're incredibly extortionate. And I don't know what you think about the dynamic pricing model that has sort of taken the world by storm over the last few years. Yeah, I know it's done with hotels and with flights, but the idea of doing it with tickets, to me, it puts me off. It puts me off going to concerts.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I there's no way. I mean, I got quoted last year, £700 to stand at Murrayfield to watch Oasis on the official site on the day of ticket release. Now, as much as I wanted to go to that concert, £700 to stand and watch a band for an afternoon. I'm sorry,
no,
that is ridiculous. You wouldn't play that on resale.
Do you know the only problem you got is, Sam, is supply and demand. Now, people will buy those tickets still. And it will be packed out. Whoever gets to the final, whoever it's going to be, people want to be there. And they will pay the money, which is a disgrace, really, because they're taking advantage of people. But they still want to be there, and they will find a way to get the money to go and pay for the tickets. And that's the problem you're going to have.
One of the answers to this, a lot of people are doing what they do at Cheltenham and going to Benidorm. Going to Benidorm
I'll
to watch
go
the football.
Benidorm, definitely.
So maybe that's the answer.
Do you know what? Let's just about tickets. I bought 2 tickets for this weekend for my good pal for Southampton away, for Arsenal Southampton, £25 each. Now that you can't go wrong with that, can you? That is
and the atmosphere
bargain.
Will be perfect as a result.
And it'd be 4,500 probably away fans, I should imagine, at Arsenal. And it'd be. Do you know what? It's for a young boy, and it's his first away game. So that is a perfect game to go to. But for that sort of money, £25 for entertainment and all that, see your people in front of you, your stars in the flesh. That's a bargain for me.
Yeah.
That is money and credit to Southampton. I think there's a rule in place for that, isn't there? For the FA Cup, I don't know. I don't know,
Well,
Sam
it's
might know a bit
definitely
more.
in the Premier League. There's a certain rule where you can't pay more than £30 for an away ticket, which is brilliant. I think it's a great rule. And actually, in the FA Cup, you get a bigger allocation, which is even better because the atmosphere is great. And it's all right talking about people will pay it, but what happens is that those tickets are sucked up by, as you've already mentioned, corporate people who don't have the same affiliation to the football teams. You get to a World Cup final and the atmosphere ends up being flat because it's all just tourist fans.
Absolutely.
When actually one great thing about football is the atmosphere, the passion, the intensity that you get coming from the stands of the real supporter, and pricing them out of it, well, it just defeats the object, really. Angelina, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Angelina.
Angelina is back a little bit later on, 15 minutes time.